Triple E Canada Limited, Canada's leading motorhome manufacturer, a true pioneer in Canada's competitive recreational vehicle industry. What began as a family-owned three-man operation in 1965 has grown to a 21-acre manufacturing complex employing more than 300 people with corporate facilities in Lethbridge, Alberta and Guelph, Ontario. The Triple E story began in 1964 when Triple E's founder, Peter W. Enns, volunteered to do mission work for his church. It was then that he saw how well travel trailers were being accepted as a recreational vehicle.
I was doing some voluntary work in Elkhart, Indiana. And on my spare time, I would go out and see what was happening in the travel trailer industry. And this is where I saw this torsion bar travel trailer Axle. It intrigued me, and I thought that this would make a beautiful, low-profile trailer. So I phoned Phil and told him about it and asked him whether I should buy an axle, bring it along, and try to build a travel trailer. He says, yes, let's try it. So when I came home, I went to John Jansen, a good friend of mine and an excellent carpenter, and asked him whether he would like to help me build a travel trailer in his garage because I had none. And that's what we did.
Together with his two sons-in-law, Phil Enns and Peter Elias, Peter W. Enns expanded the existing plumbing and heating shop to include a new travel trailer factory. The three E's, Enns, and Elias, became the components of the name Triple E. And on February 5th, 1966, a grand opening was held to introduce Winkler residents to what was to become a major force in the Canadian RV industry, Triple E Manufacturing Incorporated. In Triple E's first year of production, a decision was made to produce 50 units of the 13-foot Triple E Compact, the result of exhaustive prototype testing of the original model. The Compact contained many of the features still sought after in today's more competitive market. Demand for product was slower than they expected. But with PWN's determination, some travel trailers found the market through an automobile dealership, and sales slowly increased. The increase became even more dramatic when Western families made plans to visit Montreal's Expo in 1967. The 10-man production line grew as well, as production responded to demand, with 90 units in 1966 and 300 units the following year. In 1967, Triple E Manufacturing made history in designing and building the first Canadian motorhome. PWN, satisfied with his refinement of travel trailers, had turned his attention to motorhome design.
When we were going into manufacturing motorhomes, the boys wanted a GM chassis. GM didn't have a motorhome chassis, but they had a milk run chassis. We got one in, modified the steering device to suit our needs, and this modification is still serving us to this day.
Later that year, General Motors dispatched several design engineers to study and photograph these design refinements, and now utilize the resulting design change in all GM Class A chassis production. In 1969, Neonex International purchased the assets of Triple E, retaining the successful management team of PWN's Phil Enns and Peter Elias. That same year, Triple E Motorhomes Limited was started to commercially build motorhomes. In 1972, disaster struck as fire gutted the entire manufacturing complex. Triple E temporarily relocated in the local arena, but lack of equipment was so severe, it appeared that they would not rebuild. Soon after, Neonex International purchased Dutch Mobile Homes Limited and acquired Triple E Motorhomes Limited as well. Phil Enns was retained as general manager, and both operations were consolidated under the name Neonex Leisure Products. The existing facilities were immediately modified and additional plants were constructed. In 1974, Triple E once more became a family-owned business when Phil Enns and P.W. Enns purchased back all shares from Neonex and reincorporated as Triple E Canada Limited. Phil Enns, president of Triple E Canada Limited.
Adversity seems to bring out the best in people, and this was so evident when fire destroyed our manufacturing facility in 1972. Our employees, our friends, and our community gave us the support and the encouragement to rebuild. We take our corporate responsibility seriously. As a major employer in Winkler, we believe it is vital to contribute to the betterment of the community, be it in employment, education, culture, or in recreation. Our people have a strong Mennonite work ethic and are undaunted by hardships or difficulties. The perseverance was most encouraging and essential during the difficulties that our industry experienced during the early 1970s and again in the early 1980s. Our success can only be attributed to our people and our strong management team. The strength of our company is a result of teamwork and the concern each member of our team has for each other and our valued customers. This is what gives Triple E Canada the stability and the success to remain a leader in the recreational vehicle industry.
Triple E Canada Limited has enjoyed continual growth and success, due largely to management's philosophy of corporate diversification. Production facilities continued to expand, and new product lines were acquired. In 1979, a second dealer network was established with the purchase of the Empress motorhome line. That year also saw the birth of Triple E's van conversion division in Guelph, Ontario. Soon after, Triple E announced the purchase of Alma Homes in Lethbridge, Alberta. The plant, which produces Dutch Villa mobile homes, has since been renamed Triple E Homes Limited and has produced more than 1,000 homes since 1981. 1985, celebrated as Triple E's 20th anniversary year, saw the introduction of two new product lines, the Signature and the Invitation. 1 year later, the Triple E motorhome line was renamed the Regency by Triple E. Into its third decade of operation, Triple E Canada continued to diversify its operation with the purchase of Load King and radio station CISV. Triple E has also invested in local housing development and spanned the gap between manufacturing and merchandising by setting up a local RV dealership, Sun Valley RV. Through the years, Triple E has also supported many community organizations, including the construction of a Winkler Senior Citizens high-rise apartment building in 1970. Since then, the PWN's Family Foundation has been established, and many local organizations have been beneficiaries. The archives based at the Canadian Mennonite Bible College received funding from Triple E, as well as a newly expanded hospital in Taiwan. From the three-man operation at Triple E Manufacturing Incorporated in the mid-60s to a multi-million-dollar corporation in the 80s, Triple E has remained dedicated to the task of producing high-quality recreational vehicles, providing steady employment for more than 300 people, and improving the quality of life in southern Manitoba.